Next we have the electrophilic substitution reactions taking place in amines. And we know that all the amines or all the compounds cannot undergo electrophilic substitution reactions, isn't it? Because it is a characteristic of aromatic compounds. Aromatic compounds means what? Containing benzene ring, isn't it? So only which amine can undergo electrophilic substitution reaction? Yes, that is aniline. Aniline is our aromatic amine. So only aniline can undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. Now we know that there is actually 5 main electrophilic substitution reactions like halogenation, nitration, sulfonation, Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation. But here aniline or amines, not amines, aniline cannot undergo Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation reaction. That reason we will study later. So here we have only 3 main reactions, electrophilic reactions for aniline, that is halogenation. In that we have only bromination, then nitration and sulfonation. So first we will see the first give reason question. What is meant by electrophilic substitution reactions? We are replacing hydrogen atom from the benzene ring by an electrophile. An electrophile general representation is E+, isn't it? E+ means electrophiles are either positively charged or electron deficient species. So electrophilic substitution reaction. So electrophiles will be coming and attacking on the compounds. So if aniline can undergo electrophilic substitution reaction, that means on aniline an electrophile is coming and attacking. So being an electron deficient species, how an electrophile can attack on aniline? So it is clear from the resonating structures. Already we have studied about the resonating structures. If you analyze the resonating structures of aniline, we can see that due to resonance, what happens here is electron density increases at ortho and para position. So due to resonance in aniline, electron density increases at ortho and para position. That means when we attach an NH2 group to a benzene ring, okay, when an NH2 group is attached to a benzene ring, this NH2 group is actually activating the benzene ring by increasing electron density at ortho and para positions. So if there is more electron rich centers in a compound, the electrophilic attack will be more easy, isn't it? So what we can say is the NH2 group is highly activating group, and therefore aniline is always ortho-para directing and activating. So the very important give reason question, why aniline is ortho-para directing and activating? The reason is due to resonance, electron density increases at ortho and para position. So an electrophile, a positive species, can easily attack on this electron rich centers. Which are the electron rich centers due to resonance? Ortho and para. So remember, aniline is ortho para directing and activating. So when you write the answer for this question, resonating structures are compulsory. So remember, when we attach an NH2 group to a benzene ring, that NH2 group is actually activating the ring towards an electrophilic attack by increasing electron density. So here NH2 group is increasing electron density at ortho and para position. So note down the question, why aniline is ortho para directing and activating. Now we are moving to the first electrophilic substitution reaction, that is halogenation, and here we have only bromination. And due to the highly activating nature of NH2 group, Bromination of aniline reagent is bromine water. The reagent for bromination of aniline is bromine water. So if we are doing bromination of aniline directly, aniline on treatment with bromine, that means we are using bromine water. What happens here is aniline on direct bromination, that means aniline, if you are treating directly with bromine water, what happens here is due to the highly activating nature of this NH2 group, what happens here, NH2 group is already activating and ortho-para directing, isn't it? So here during bromination actually what is happening, the hydrogen from benzene ring will be replaced by bromine. So here from this ortho and para positions, here we have 2 ortho positions and 1 para position. From all these 3 positions, hydrogen will be eliminated as HBr. And 3Br2 means totally we have 6 bromine atoms. From the 6 bromine, 3 will be utilized to eliminate. From here 1 hydrogen will be removed. From here 1 hydrogen will be removed. From here also 1 hydrogen will be removed, and instead of that hydrogen, who will come there? Bromine. So from the 6 bromine, 3 will be introduced or substituted in the benzene ring, and 3 will go as 3HBr. From where this 3 hydrogen we are getting? It is actually from these 3 positions. From that position, hydrogen will be removed and bromine will be substituted. Okay, so aniline on direct bromination, we are getting a tribromo derivative. What is the tribromo derivative name here? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. Tribromo aniline, and it is actually a white precipitate. So aniline on direct bromination, we will be getting only tribromo derivative, that is tri-substituted product, that is 2,4,6 tribromo aniline, which is a white precipitate. And note down, this can be used as a characteristic test for aniline reaction with bromine water. Getting white precipitate of 2,4,6 tribromo aniline can be used as a characteristic test for aniline. Now, whenever we treat bromine water or aniline directly with bromine water, you will be getting only this tri-substituted or tribromo derivative. If we want to get orthobromoaniline or parabromoaniline, what is orthobromoaniline structure? Orthobromoaniline means aniline ortho position 1 bromine, or parabromoaniline means aniline with bromine at the para position. So if we want to get an orthobromoaniline or parabromoaniline, what should we do? If we treat aniline directly with bromine water, you will be getting only tri-substituted derivative. Only white precipitate of 2,4,6 tribromoaniline you will be getting. So how we can get a monobromo derivative or mono-substituted product of aniline? Why we are always getting tri-substituted? The reason is due to the highly activating nature of NH2 group. So if we want to get a mono-substituted or monobromo derivative, what we have to do is, we have to deactivate. Since the NH2 group is highly activating, we have to deactivate the NH2 group. But we cannot remove it. Why we cannot remove it? Because we want orthobromoaniline only. So we cannot remove this NH2 group. So what we have to do is, by protecting NH2 group, we have to deactivate it. Then only we can prepare mono-substituted derivative. So the main problem, what is the main problem on direct bromination of aniline? The problem is note down. The problem of direct bromination of aniline is we will be getting tribromo derivative or tri-substituted product. The reason is due to the highly activating nature of NH2 group. So how we can get mono substituted product? By deactivating the NH2 group at the same time by protecting it. So how we can protect the NH2 group and how we can deactivate it? It can be done by acylation. Okay, so first we have to do aniline before treating with bromine water, or before doing bromination we have to acylate it. Already we have studied about acylation, isn't it? Acylation means what? Introduction of acyl group to the nitrogen atom by replacing hydrogen. So acylate aniline by using acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride formula is CH3CO O COCH3. So what happens here is, from this break here, so what will be eliminating? CH3COOH will be eliminating. So balance what we have here? Benzene ring. NH2 will become NH, remaining COCH3. So what we are doing here is, from aniline, one hydrogen we are replacing by COCH3 group, or we are attaching one COCH3 group to the nitrogen atom. So when we attach this COCH3 group, or when we acylate aniline, it will be deactivated. At the same time it will be protected. Then what is the product name? It is which amide? Ethanamide. So it is N-phenyl ethanamide, or the very simple, very common, very important common name is acetanilide. So remember, aniline on acylation we are getting acetanilide. So how we are deactivating and protecting aniline is by acylation and through the formation of acetanilide. Now whatever reactions we want to do, we can do it. Now we can do bromination. Now after acylation we are decreasing the activity of NH2 group. So again no need to use bromine water, because water is a polar solvent. So no need to use such polar solvent, we can use bromine and acetic acid only. So what happens? We know that NH2 group is ortho-para directing, and we can get ortho-bromo and para-bromo, and among this we know which is more major product, para-bromo. So what we are getting here is, this will remain as NHCOCH3. At para position one bromine will be introduced. So the name is para-bromo acetanilide. But we don't want para-bromo acetanilide, isn't it? We want para-bromo aniline. So what should we do? This acetanilide group we have to convert back into NH2 group, isn't it? That is what is meant by protecting. We have to get it back. So very simple, by hydrolysis. On hydrolysis what happens? This will become NH2 plus CH3COOH. So very important question, note down as a conversion question also, how we can convert aniline to para-bromo aniline. Very important conversion question. Can we do bromination directly? No. We cannot do bromination of aniline directly. The problem is we will be getting only tribromo derivative. So how we can get orthobromoaniline or parabromoaniline? First we have to protect it and deactivate it by acylation. Aniline on acylation we are getting acetanilide. Then after acetanilide means it is comparatively less active. So on bromination using acetic acid we will be getting monobromo derivative. So tell me how we are protecting and deactivating the NH2 group? By acylation. By giving one COCH3 to nitrogen, what happens? It becomes deactive. So the very important or next give reason question is how acylation deactivates the NH2 group. The reason is during acylation what we are doing is we are attaching COCH3 group to nitrogen atom, isn't it? This is what is happening there. Mark the remaining valencies as such, and we know that there is one lone pair on nitrogen, isn't it? And this C double bond O is always polar, delta minus, delta plus. Now we know the reason for the highly activating nature of NH2 group, isn't it? What is the reason? Because this lone pair on nitrogen atom of aniline, our lone pair is actually responsible for the resonance, and due to resonance only what happens, and the benzene ring becomes more electron rich. So due to resonance electron density increases at ortho and para position, so aniline becomes very, very active. So the main reason for the ortho-para directing and activating nature of aniline is due to the presence of this lone pair on nitrogen. When we attach acyl group or during acylation of aniline, we are introducing COCH3 to nitrogen atom. So what happens here? This lone pair, this is always polar, we know. So double bond will be shifting towards oxygen. At the same time this will be shifted to here. So what we are getting is, we are getting a resonating structure N double bond so see the structure. When we attach a COCH3 to nitrogen atom, what happens to lone pair on nitrogen? That will be involved in resonance with the COCH3 group. So what happens here is, so how acylation deactivates the NH2 group? By making the lone pair on nitrogen less available for protonation. So draw the structure, draw the resonating structure and note down why or how it becomes deactive, because the lone pair on nitrogen will become less available for protonation, because that will be involved in resonance with the C double bond O group. So this is how it deactivates the NH2 group. So this is about the bromination, why we cannot do the bromination directly and what should we do to get an orthobromoaniline or parabromoaniline or mono substituted product. Now the second electrophilic substitution reaction is nitration, and we know what is meant by nitration. It is the introduction of nitro group to the benzene ring, and the reagent that we use for nitration is nitrating mixture. What is nitrating mixture? A mixture of concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4, and very important, we have to heat it. So, and this mixture is known as nitrating mixture. So, this is about the reagent that we use for nitration. Now, there are some problems associated with direct nitration of aniline also. So very important question, what are the problems when we do the nitration of aniline directly? Just now only we studied about what are the problems when we do direct bromination of aniline. Next we have what are the problems if we are nitrating aniline directly. The first problem is it will form. We know that aniline or NH2 group is ortho-para directing. So we will be getting ortho-nitroaniline and para-nitroaniline. So along with that, the first problem is it form along with ortho and para products, they form tarry oxidation product. They form tarry oxidation product because the mixture is highly oxidizing mixture. Okay, so the first disadvantages or the problem is production of tarry oxidation product. Now, the second problem is along with ortho and para nitro derivative, we are getting a significant amount of meta nitro derivative also. Okay, that we can understand from the equation. If we are doing direct nitration of aniline on treatment with concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4 and on heating, direct nitration we are doing, we get para-nitroaniline, that is 51%. Along with that, we will be getting meta-nitroaniline, that is 47%, and a very small amount of, because we know that ortho product will be always ortho product will be always minor. So see the equation, aniline on direct nitration, what we are expecting is we will be getting only ortho nitroaniline and para nitroaniline only, and among that ortho will be minor and para will be the major products. But see the equation, along with ortho and para derivative, we are getting a significant amount. See the percentage of meta product we are getting. This is meta-nitroaniline, this is para-nitroaniline, this is ortho-nitroaniline. We are getting 47% of meta-nitroaniline. This is actually a product which is not required for us. So the second disadvantage or the problem on direct nitration of aniline is we are getting, along with ortho and para nitroaniline, we are getting a significant amount of meta derivative also. So how we can overcome this problem? How we can get only para nitroaniline as the major product? The same method, by protecting and deactivating NH2 group by acylation through the formation of acetanilide. So aniline, first we have to treat with, how we are doing acylation of aniline? By treating with acetic anhydride, CH3CO, OCOCH3. So from this, so we will be getting NHCOCH3, that is acetanilide. Then only do the required reaction. This is acetanilide, which on nitration use concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4. We will be getting para-nitroaniline as the major product. Along with that, you will be getting a small amount of ortho derivative also. So this is about the nitration of aniline. Now one more question, give recent question coming from this section. During nitration of aniline, why we are getting a significant amount of meta-nitroaniline? NH2 group, it is ortho-para directing, isn't it? Then why we are getting a meta derivative along with this? The reason is, so note down the question, during nitration of aniline, why we are getting a significant amount of meta-nitroaniline? The reason is, and this, see the reaction, see the reagent we are using here, the medium is highly acidic because we are using a mixture of concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4, two very strong acids. So the medium is highly acidic means with rich of H plus ions or protons. And we know that aniline is basic in nature, isn't it? So there is lone pair on nitrogen which is ready to accept H plus ion. So since the medium is highly acidic, this aniline will be protonated to form anilinium ion. Anilinium ion formula, NH2 will become NH3 plus. So during nitration, why we are getting this meta-nitro derivative? The reason is, due to highly acidic medium, aniline will be protonated to form anilinium ion which is meta-directing. So why we are getting meta-nitroaniline? The reason is due to the production of anilinium ion which is meta-directing. So this is about the nitration. And last we have the third electrophilic substitution reaction, that is sulfonation. And we know that sulfonation means it is the introduction of sulfonic acid group. What is sulfonic acid group? SO3H group to the benzene ring, and the reagent that we use for sulfonation is either hot fuming concentrated H2SO4 or oleum. Oleum is H2. Either hot concentrated or hot fuming sulfuric acid or oleum H2S2O7 called as oleum. So how we can write the equation for sulfonation of aniline is aniline on reaction with H2SO4. H2SO4 I am going to write it as HSO4. It is same as H2SO4 itself, H plus and HSO4 minus. So what happens here is, there is one lone pair, so it will be added first. So we will be getting it as NH2 will become NH3 plus and HSO4 minus. And the compound name is, we know that benzene ring containing NH3 plus is anilinium ion and HSO4 minus is bisulfate or hydrogen sulfate. So how we can name it as anilinium hydrogen sulfate. Okay, from this, what happens here is, this on heating, one water molecule will be eliminated. How the water molecule elimination is, one hydrogen from para position, one hydrogen from here and one oxygen from here. This is the way how it is eliminating water. So what we are getting here is NH3 will become NH2. We have taken one hydrogen from the para positions. To that position, this will be introduced. Remaining what we have here, HSO3. So it will be introduced as SO3H. And the name of this compound is sulfanilic acid. Sulfanilic acid means containing sulfonic acid group and acid group as well as NH2 group, which is basic in nature. So sulfanilic acid, it has one acid group which is ready to lose H plus and one NH2 group which is ready to accept H plus. So what happens in the next step is this will be donating one H plus to here. So reversible arrow, and what we are getting here is NH2 will become NH3 plus, this will become SO3 minus, and a molecule containing both positive and negative center, which is formed by losing H plus and by gaining H plus. Such ions are known as Zwitter ions. It is a dipolar ion. Very important term, Zwitter ion or dipolar ion. It is formed when there is an acid group and a basic group is present in a molecule. The acid group will be losing H plus and the basic group will be accepting H plus. So sulfanilic acid contains both acid as well as a basic group. So this is about the sulfonation of aniline. Now the very important give reason question, that is note down as the very important give reason question, that is why aniline is not undergoing Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation. We have studied only 3 electrophilic substitution reactions in aniline, isn't it? So why aniline is not undergoing Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation? The reason is, for Friedel-Crafts reaction, the common catalyst is anhydrous AlCl3, which is a Lewis acid. We know that aniline contains one lone pair of nitrogen, so it is a Lewis base. One is Lewis acid and one is Lewis base. So if aniline is undergoing Friedel-Crafts reaction, it has to react with anhydrous AlCl3. When acid and base react, what will happen? So this will react with the catalyst we are using, that is anhydrous AlCl3, and form salt, that is nitrogen will be getting positive sign and the other AlCl3 will be getting negative sign, so it will be added together to form a salt. So this is the reason why. So when we treat, if aniline is undergoing Friedel-Crafts reaction, it will be reacting with the catalyst anhydrous AlCl3, which is a Lewis acid. Aniline is a Lewis base, so they will react together to form the salt. So this is about the electrophilic substitution reactions taking place in aniline.